Hey, what's up? I'm in this 2018 Ford F-250 crew cab long bed. Does have a 6.2 liter gasser, but it's all good. But check it out. Not bad, not bad. A little more modern looking than the old 6.0. Nice and comfortable, rides smooth. But nah, I didn't get rid of the 6.0. This is actually a rental truck. What happened to me is what happens to probably all 6.0 owners. According to all the horror stories, it left me stranded. Had to get it AAA towed back to the house where it's sitting right now. And I rented this F-250 to tow my trailer up to the drift event at IMI this past weekend. That was on Saturday, today's Sunday. I'll be driving back up to catch maybe an hour of the drifting. But yeah, 6.0 died on me. I only had it for like 3,500 miles, but I guess get the breakdowns out of the way earlier rather than later, right? But, at least it happened in state on the way home. And AAA, you know, other than the cost of AAA, the tow is free, so all good there. So it's been about a week since I rented that 2018 Ford F-250. Nice truck. Wish it was diesel, but you know, still nice truck. Got the 6.0 back up and running again. As it turned out, it was a so before I bought this truck, injector number 7 had been replaced. The problem was in cylinder number 7, and when I took the injector out, what I found was it didn't have the copper crush washer on the tip, and the hold down bolt was finger tight. And what that allowed was combustion gases to reach all the way up to the fuel O-ring. And essentially what it did was it burnt out that O-ring, and anytime you would turn the key on, it would flood the cylinder with diesel, just because, you know, when you turn the key on, fuel pump primes, fuel goes to the injectors at you know, like 50, 60 psi, and without that fuel injector, or without the fuel injector O-ring, it would just rush past that broken seal into the cylinder, hydrolocking it. And of course, as you're running, it wouldn't hydrolock it because there just wasn't enough flow, but it would run extremely rich, and it would run like garbage. And when it died on me, it was puffing out a lot of white smoke. So I pretty much knew it was an injector issue. But now everything is all fine, and it seems to start up pretty well. Before, it had turbo bark issues, and it would run with very little power once when it was cold, as well as requiring a long crank while cold. And now none of that is back. I mean, it cranks over nicely, and I can start it and drive it. It has you know, the same power it would when it's warm. Let me show you. So temperature is cold. So that took like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 seconds to crank and start. Before, when that injector was kind of questionable, it would take like 10 to 15 seconds, and then it would start up with a misfire. But this is running pretty smooth. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, and I'm gonna put a picture up in this video to show you what that bad injector looked like. I took a picture of it, and it shows the burnt O-ring that broke apart, and the tip, which had no copper crush washer, and those are stuck on the tips pretty hard. So I mean, it's not like it just fell off. One theory I read online is that it could have possibly melted. As the hold down bolt backed out, it could have possibly melted from the excessive combustion gases going by it, but I don't know. It just seems like there was absolutely no trace of that copper crush washer, and it probably was just never on there to begin with. So I hope you can hear it, but it's running pretty well. Just driving down to the DMV today. Got to register a vehicle. But anyways, I mean, if your 6.0 has turbo bark, if it has hard starts when cold, and if it has a lack of power until it warms up, and I don't know, maybe you had an injector replaced recently, I would definitely look into the work that was done on that injector and if it was done properly. There's a updated torque for the injector hold down bolts, and if it's not torqued to that correct specification, it could possibly back out and cause these issues. I thought I had a bad stiction issue, and I was ready to add some Revex or maybe Hot Shot oil additive to the oil, but I mean, I have it, but I haven't added it yet. But I mean, that injector seal kit fixed my issue, so I don't know. The Revex may fix it, but it might be more like a band-aid, and you should probably fix the main cause of it. And I mean, these injector seals were only like $6 and some change at the Ford dealership. You can get them for like $5 shipped online, and it's not that difficult of a job. You just take off for the passenger side, you take off the charge air tube, you take off the valve cover, you take off the high pressure oil feed rail, and then you take out the injector hold down bolt, and then the injector pops right out. It took me like 2 afternoons worth of work to do all 4 on the passenger side. I haven't touched the driver's side yet, but I should probably do that sometime in the future. So, hope you learned something from my little 6.0 story here. If you have a long crank when cold, misfiring when cold, turbo bark, what have you, that doesn't necessarily mean it's stiction in your injectors, even though that does seem to be the common go-to explanation for these 6-liter Powerstrokes. All I'm saying is do your research. You know, maybe pop the valve cover off, pop the high pressure oil rail off, and have a look. It's not too difficult. Doesn't really require any special tools, and you know, really it's just an afternoon or 2 of your time. And yeah, get a OBD2 code reader. I'm using Torque Pro on my Android phone. That gave me a lot of helpful insight as to what exactly was going wrong with my truck. The night it did break down, number 7 exhaust runner, like I said, was covered in diesel, and I was getting a check engine code for a cylinder contribution imbalance on cylinder 7. So, you know, all those pointed to an issue with the injector on 7, but fortunately it's just an easy $7 injector seal kit fix. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. More Prius, drift car, Powerstroke videos coming out, as well as whatever else pops into my head. Thanks for watching.